Hey guys, welcome back. It's Pickin' Roots and Shoots, and I'm Kelly. You're here in my kitchen today, and I've got another great unboxing haul from Azure Standard. I can't wait to show you guys what I got. I typically do try to order a couple of things in bulk every single month. That way, my expenses are a little bit more predictable. But this month, I did get some of my kind of bigger bulk items. So let's jump in. I will start right here with this great big box. I don't even know if you can see it. I bought 50 pounds of potatoes. My kids have really started to like potatoes, and I grew a couple this year, but definitely not enough to store. And for organic potatoes, I feel like these were right at $1 a pound. So we're going to put these in cold storage down in the basement. And then any that I come across right now that look a little dicey, we'll use those first. And then I'm also going to can up quite a lot of these. We really have been enjoying them canned, and I know that the Yukon Golds can up nicer than some of the more starchy potatoes. So, but just to start, I'm going to go through the box and make sure everything looks good. But right now it looks great. There's a little bit of condensation right now because it is on the refrigerated part of the truck. So I'm going to let it really air out. I may even place it in front of a fan or even lay them out on a towel to make sure that there's no moisture sitting on the outside of them when I go to put them in the basement. Okay, so that's the potatoes. Ugh. You know, the great thing about Azure is you get a lot when you get their stuff, but it gets a little bit heavy for sure. So next, let's see. Oh, okay. So last month you saw I checked out some of their, maybe the month before, some of their raw organic peanuts. I bought this big, huge case. I don't even know how many pounds it is, guys. 20 pounds, maybe more. Um, but I'll be making peanut butter with a lot of these. I probably will vacuum store and seal some of them. And just so you kind of know how some of these bulk items come, this is not going to be individually wrapped. So it is sealed in a bag, and that is just placed directly into my cardboard box. I'm definitely going to have to repackage this. This is where those Mylar bags and some of your 5-gallon buckets with the gamma lids come in really handy. But as I'm beginning to make smoothies, probably once a week or so, I'll go ahead and grind this up in the Vitamix and make some peanut butter as well. And they do always kind of repackage things in other boxes that they already had. So this says Kingsford lighter, charcoal lighter. That's definitely not what I ordered. So your guess is as good as mine right now. Oh, sales flyer. So every month they do have different sales that they list, and it kind of gives you an overview. Maybe there's products that you've missed. I love getting to watch other people's unboxing videos and see what they like to order because sometimes it's something that you didn't even know was there. Let's check out this box. So this is how a lot of their boxes are going to come. It's a combination of some of the different items that I ordered. So you can see here I ordered pumpkin seeds. This is probably, I don't know. I bought some other really big items, but like pound for pound, this is my most expensive purchase this month. I like making my own granola, and they had a granola mix that I really loved, but I'm trying to get all of my own ingredients to mix it 100% from scratch just to save a little bit of money. When you've got 6 people that are all eating out of containers, it really does make sense to buy in bulk like this. So I bought 4 pounds, I think, 5 pounds, 5 pounds of pumpkin seeds, which is a pretty big container. So the other thing that I bought, I want to start making some of my own sour cream. So I wanted really clean ingredients. I'm going to try this Nancy's Organic Probiotic Sour Cream as my starter culture so that I can make some of my own every month or week. Just depends on how hungry we are. And Azure has their own label on a lot of stuff. This is their old fashioned molasses. They also had backstrap molasses, and I feel like maybe a light as well. So we use a lot of this in canning and barbecue sauces. So this will be something that we kind of go through probably 1 or 2 bottles a year. They did have a larger size, but if I'm only using 1 or 2 bottles a year, it makes sense to me to kind of keep things a little bit smaller. Now, this is not small. This is the macaroni noodles, and we use this kind of in lieu of almost all the pastas. I don't like to have 50 different types, although occasionally I will stretch and buy some other varieties, or I'll make my own homemade pasta, especially for things like lasagna. But this is really nice to have in bulk. My family likes it. It's all organic. Um, and I want to say this is the 10-pound bag. So it's a pretty big bag. This will last us for several months, and the price of it is almost equivalent to what you were going to get at the regular grocery store for non-bulk pasta that's not organic. So to me, I would much rather buy a little bit more today and be able to put it in the organic category and still be spending about the same amount of money. So that makes it a lot more attainable. Oh, and I bought some raisins. These, again, are going to go into my granola. I want to get some cranberries, but I did not pick those up this time because they were out of stock. So we'll substitute raisins. So it'll have the pumpkin seeds, raisins, and then I also got some sunflower seeds. These are already hulled and organic as well. So I'll mix this with oats and the Rice Krispies and a little bit of honey and a couple other ingredients. And then voila, it's ready to go cereal on those days where we just don't have time as we're getting out. Okay, speaking of oats, I bought a gigantic bag of oats. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to subdivide it. I'm going to put it in some of those Mylar bags or in my 5-gallon buckets with the gamma lids and seal it off. This will stay good if you vacuum seal it. Um, for a lot longer than if you just have it open in the bag. So definitely if you're going to buy some of these bigger purchases, make sure that you understand how to store that food so that it's not going to go bad before you have a chance to consume it. So these will get vacuum sealed and probably also into a bucket with oxygenators and all that fun stuff to make sure that this is still going to be good for us to eat later on. But this should be enough oats that I'm not having to buy anything probably for this year or next year, depending on how much food the kids get into. And if you saw last month, I ordered the Azure quart size jars. And so I needed some pints. I'm going to be canning some chicken breast to use kind of in place of like tuna fish. And I like having these a little bit smaller. So I went ahead and ordered some more pint jars just because I don't have very many. And I really liked the quarts. These are still cold. So that is going to be nice. But what I really like about it, let me switch to the other camera for you guys. Make some room. I bought so much that I don't have room for anything. Okay. So, what I really like about these Azure jars, I mean, I love the jars. They actually can up really nicely. I had great lid sealing on the last grouping, but I like having this box to store them in when I'm not using these jars. So, Ball used to sell them in boxes similar to this, but they don't anymore, or at least not where I can find them. And I really like to have somewhere that I can put these that they stay relatively safe. As I'm getting through the winter and I'm getting more and more and more empty jars, I just want to have something to do with them. So that's why I've been really enjoying these Azure jars now. Okay. I think I have one more thing to show you guys. And I think that's it for this trip. Okay. Yes, I have it on my shoulder. The joys of growing up at the barn. That's where feed goes when you pick it up. So this is a 50-pound bag of hard white wheat berries. So we use this to make all of our own homemade fresh bread. I typically am going to feed my sourdough starter with the red wheat that I bought last month. But when I'm getting geared up and I'm really adding to the volume because I'm going to make bread, I bulk up that volume with white. So we have a mix of red and white wheat in most of our things. And then occasionally some spelt as well. But this is the bulk of what we use all the time. So this is the one that I want to make sure I never run out of. Typically, I'm going to order things when I have maybe about 20% of the previous bag left, because there are occasions where they're kind of between shipments and you might not be able to get exactly what you want the very moment that you want to get it. So I like to kind of order in advance and just plan to store a little bit of it for maybe a week or two before I actually need it, or maybe a month or two before I actually need it. Because last year, at one point, there was I don't know what happened. there was a time where they weren't carrying any hard white wheat berries, and I was kind of scrambling trying to find somewhere to buy it. And the pricing is so much better at Azure than anywhere else that I have found. It really affected our budget. So anyways, all that to say, I like to buy in bulk, but they do have smaller options. So whenever I buy something for the first time, I always try the smaller option, make sure I like the quality and what I'm getting. And I will, when I transfer this into my big 5 gallon bucket that I store it in, I will take some pictures so you guys can see the quality. There's been a lot of discussion about, on some of the forums lately about the quality. And I have ordered from Azure for almost 10 years, and I just haven't ever had something not be the quality that I expect from them. So it's always surprising for me when I see that. But maybe I'm, just lucky. So I will definitely take some pictures of this when I'm pouring it in so you can see the quality of these hard white wheat berries and probably my rolled oats too. So that's it for this month's Azure. I've got a little bit of food supply, put it away, get it storage ready to do in my future. But I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing. If there's any other items that you love ordering from Azure that I need to check out, definitely let me know in the comments below. And I will put a link in the description. If you're looking to find out more about Azure, you can use that link. It definitely supports the channel and I really appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm about to pull my hard white wheat and put it in my bucket here, and I will show you what it is when we open it. Okay, so first look inside, and I think my grains look really great. I will show them to you after I pour them in. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody else to film, so I'm going to have to do it myself. Okay, so I like to store mine in this big bucket and then add it with my container that I keep upstairs in the kitchen. This works just fine. Um, it had enough room to have all of it in there, and I'm very pleased with these. So I think that the quality on these is just fine. This is my, you know, just steel rolled oats, and I'm pretty impressed. I'm getting about 20 cups to a bag. And so then I'll be able to pull those out in individual servings or weekly servings. Okay. So I got about 5.5 bags out of that 25-pound bag of oats. Okay, guys, if you're new here, Azure is a bulk. Well, it's not always bulk. Who am I to say? Azure is a great food company. Let's just start there. They have all kinds of food, all kinds of shelf stable items, all kinds of pantry staples like grains and oils and seeds. They sell plant starts in the spring. They kind of have it all. And I really like purchasing from them. I feel like it's a really good company and they are working really hard to keep the standard that they set as high as they possibly can, but still give you the best bang for your buck. They do sell items in small quantities, but if you're looking to buy bulk, it's a great way to buy bulk. And then typically, what you'll do is find a drop location in your area. That happens once a month. And what they do is they'll have a certain cutoff date. You place your order, and then everybody at your drop location will drive to that location at the specified time, and then your truck will unload and they dispatch everybody's food to their pile or everybody's items that they've ordered. Obviously, everything from jars to seeds to oils to sugar, convenience foods. There's all kinds of things that they have in their freezer section that I haven't gotten to try yet that I think will be exciting to have as an easy put it together at the last minute type of thing. Anyways, you pick your drop location, you sign up, and then you go pick up your items there. So that truck would then leave from Azure and it's going to drive across country to wherever your location is, and then it has several stops in your vicinity. So that works out really well. It kind of keeps me honest because I have to be on more of a monthly schedule. It does make me sometimes want to order more than I need, but it is one of those things that if you know how to store your food, you can make it last for several months. So I know a lot of people only order once every quarter or once every 6 months. So there's definitely a lot of options there. And if you have any other questions, definitely comment below and let me know. I'll be happy to answer anything that I can, or you can always give Azure a call because their customer service has been outstanding. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing. I can't wait to start to process all of this and get it put away for some longer term storage. I think I don't think I canned anything out of what I bought last month, but I do generally try to show you guys what I've done with those items if there was something specific I needed to do. So if you have any questions about last month's order, definitely comment below and let me know. And until then, I will see you next time.